Why are people so into tiny painting? Can I even do anything meaningful on such a small piece of paper? Will I enjoy it? Is it worth doing? These are just some of the things that I wondered, and I have been trying tiny painting for the past few weeks, and in this video I'll take you with me as I go to a cute little park and do some tiny paintings on plein air. As I do so, I'll share some of the lessons and my perspectives that I've gleaned from trying this for the past few weeks. One of the biggest benefits to doing tiny painting for me was lowering the barrier to creating. You don't need lots of supplies, you don't need heavy gear, you don't need hours. All you need is a tiny piece of paper, a brush, a pencil, some paint, and a little bit of time. Everything else is a bonus. As you can see, I still have a tendency to overpack, and that is something that I hope I'll get better at as time goes on, for the reasons that I'll share later in the video. You can dedicate as much or as little time as you like, but because it's a tiny surface, you can get so much done in a little bit of time. The painting that I'm going to be doing first is on a 3.5 by 2.5 inch piece of paper, and that took me 15 minutes working at a leisurely, very relaxed pace. On the whole, there is just less overwhelm. It's a small piece of paper, so I feel less precious about it, and I don't have this feeling of having wasted something if it doesn't end up being perfect or exactly how I wanted it. I picked this size because it also corresponds with the artist trading card, so I really love that element of community and being able to share my artwork with other artists. Not only is the art then really cute and adorable, but it's also more easily accessible if people want to buy tiny art or if people want to share it. Is it easier? Is it harder? I'd love to have like a straightforward answer, but in honesty, it's just different. Not easier, not harder. For me, the key difference is that in tiny painting, because it's such a small space, I have to do a bit of mental planning before painting. I don't have the luxury of lots of space, and so things like composition, value and scale play an even bigger role than they would in my normal size paintings. I'm also very acutely aware of the possibility of overworking a painting, and I'm also aware, like I said, that a small brush stroke will make a much bigger impact, a much bigger difference than it would in my normal size of working. Now that doesn't mean that it's easier or harder, because working bigger also comes with its own different challenges and requires planning in a different way, but it's just different, you know, and that makes it enjoyable. And so, keeping all of this in mind for this piece, I looked for things that would interest me but also be easily distinguishable. I looked for contrast, and as always, I looked for something that I thought would be an enjoyable painting to create. There is something about being in a beautiful place and wanting to paint that if you leave me to it, I could spend hours taking photos and videos and just gathering references, and then even longer trying to figure out where the best place is to paint. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make the most of being outside by actually painting and avoid that resistance to painting altogether. And the beauty of doing tiny painting is that I kind of tricked myself, or told myself that it's okay not to pick the absolute perfect spot or to look at the entire park to then decide where to paint, because it was only going to take 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes. And if I wanted to paint something else, I could. And all of this just helps lower the barrier to actually painting and making it feel fun, free and low pressure. I kept being drawn to the waterfall. I thought it was really lovely, and so I decided to paint this tiny corner. Initially I wanted to paint a different aspect of it, but it would have meant like standing in an awkward place blocking everybody, so instead I settled for this, and I really love the way that it turned out. I thought that the trees and the florals also looked interesting and could potentially be a painting, but ultimately I picked what I liked most and found most interesting, with the most contrast, and something that I thought would quite easily read as a painting, even if it's tiny. Honestly, it was just a matter of time before I tried tiny painting. After all, my lovely friend and incredible artist Leslie Strauss creates beautiful tiny paintings and has just started a new 100 tiny painting quest. On top of that, she has written an amazing book, which I will leave linked in the description for you. It's a gem of inspiration for all artists, irrespective of what size you like to work in, because she covers the fundamentals of drawing and painting, both indoors and outdoors, the joys of different supplies, color theory, and so much more. And then she ties all of this beautifully to tiny painting. It was the inspiration I needed on this beautiful sunny day to go out, go to a park and paint. If you're like me, I feel like you'll also need this little disclaimer that I resisted the urge to go out and buy cute tiny art supplies for this project. Instead, I just used what I have, because I can guarantee you already have what you need, and it worked just as well. I cut up my paper, I used a brush that was almost certainly too big for my project, and I painted with it and I had a wonderful time. It was everything that I needed and it still worked. There is no extra buying or prep needed. You already have wonderful paper, you already have paints, you already have a pencil. You can just use all of them and start painting it and trying it out and then assessing whether it works for you. The other thing that I also did a few weeks ago before cutting up the paper was dividing up my A4 piece of paper into 8, and then every so often when I would have time or a spare moment or be watching TV, relaxing, I would just bring out that piece of paper and paint in one of the 8 rectangles, and slowly I've been creating a beautiful page of tiny little landscapes that all take me 15 minutes each, depending on how much time I have. A nice way to make use of the many, and I mean thousands upon thousands of photos that I have in my camera roll, and reflecting on those lovely memories as well. So they're finally making it out of the camera roll into my paintings, and that is in part thanks to having tiny painting. I'm curious to know if this is something that you've tried, something that you enjoy, would recommend, if you have tips and tricks that you would like to suggest as well. And if you want to kind of explore this further, like I said, Leslie is doing a 100 tiny painting quest and everyone is welcome to join it. So there were quite a few things that I enjoyed about doing this tiny painting. For one, it felt more cost effective because ultimately I'm able to use smaller pieces of paper, a smaller amount of paint. I'm able to create lots and lots. I'm also able to course correct because it's almost like instead of creating one big piece, I'm able to create 10 small pieces in that period of time and make changes accordingly. Now, I still love creating on bigger pieces of paper and I want to work even larger, and I also want to work tiny. I don't know, there's just something about having different options. It stimulates a different part of my brain when it comes to painting. For it, I used some cellulose paper that I'd cut down to 2.5 by 3.5 inches. I then used my Graph Gear Pentel pencil to make a rough outline of like the big shapes. I picked something that had a lot of contrast, so dark areas, light areas, and was easily readable as a landscape. And then I used my Shinhan gouache to do the painting and my Jackson's Icon flat brush. The brush was too big for the painting, but I like that because it helped me stay loose. It helped me think about bigger shapes rather than tiny details too early. And then towards the end, I used my like little round brush to just add a few extra details. I then kind of got a bit curious about how tiny could I go while still enjoying the process. And so I brought out a 1-inch square, 2.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters, and did a tiny painting of that too. For that, I picked a slightly different, I guess, trickier composition with a tree and a lamppost, but I was still able to do it. I was still able to enjoy it, and it was really cute. I do feel like the 2.5 by 3.5 inch worked best for me, or even like an A8, A7 worked best for me. But it's nice to have options. Sometimes I feel like I carry so many different supplies, and I think about the setup and the time investment that will be required to paint, and so I just don't do it as often. And I'm hoping that by having these different options where I can just fit everything into a tiny pencil case and put it in my pocket, I'll be able to paint more and my art will improve as a whole as a result. So these are the 2 tiny pieces that I created on a day where I didn't even really feel like going out, talk less going out and painting, but I did, and I'm so glad that I did. And I think that having something like this makes it easier to break the barrier to actually just start painting, because it just involves a little piece of paper and a little bit of time. I'll share a few more that I've done with you in a future video, but if you're still watching, you are a real MVP, and I really appreciate you because you make this fun and you let me know that I'm not talking to myself. So if you're still watching, let me know by telling me whether you have tried tiny painting, haven't tried it, like it, don't like it. I'm really curious to know what your thoughts are on it. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye and God bless.